この番組はご覧のスポンサーの提供でお送りします。Alrighty, welcome everyone. I'm Teeaboo and I am finally back in the recording seat to record some video. It's been a hell of a week and we'll talk about that in a second. We are here for Mushoku Tensei episode 5. Last time on Mushoku Tensei we had ourselves an emergency family meeting, discovered that Lily is pregnant and Paul is the father, and he's a dirty, dirty, cheating bastard. In that light, we manipulated and convinced our mother to let Lilia stay here, and in doing so probably saved her life and the life of her child, which is going to maybe become a character because, you know, like, she said a thing about always serving him and stuff, so I would expect that. So they are staying, and then we time skipped forward to those children being born and growing up together as semi-siblings within this household. I guess they are half-siblings, right? Within this household, and everything going rather swimmingly, honestly. Kind of two mamas in the house, as Paul continues to try to teach various lessons to his son Rudy. Rudy tries to get gone. He realizes after getting a message from Roxy that his magic is not getting much better very fast, and so he wants to go to the Ranawa School of Magic and Wizardry and stuff. And his dad says, well, maybe, but I'm definitely not paying for Sylphie to go. So Rudy has asked for a job so that he can acquire the funds to pay for Sylphie to go himself, and it seems that he has gotten what he's asked for, because Paul thwomped him on the back of the head, knocked him out, and sent him off into the wild blue yonder with an old companion and friend, the extremely, how do I put it? Drawn. Very drawn. There's a lot that is drawn there. Seemingly beast person, which is a new bit of lore for this world. There are beast folk. That's interesting. And she seems to be a hard ass without much leeway, and she's going to be Rudy's next teacher, trainer, or employer? I'm not sure. In any case, he just woke up inside a cart, and we are heading off into the wild blue beyond with Ghislaine, this beast woman fighter lady, to teach Rudy everything he needs to know about the wide world beyond his tiny little town, which is pretty darn cool. Now, normally when we do one of these, I would go directly from here into the comment spotlight and talk about that. But before we do that, I want to talk about something else. I want to go on a little tangent here. So feel free to skip this if you want to, but I think it'll be important. These last few days for me have been hell. And I don't say that lightly, and I've said some things about hell that hopefully characterize and colorize that. Hell is a place inside you, at least as far as I'm concerned, and I've been there for the last while. The surface level of what's been happening this last little while is my flatmate got sick, my housemate got sick, with influenza A, and so that meant a return to all of the major COVID protocols, which we were in like a couple weeks ago, because he was just sick from COVID. I know. He's got a kid, and the kid brings home germs. It's what it is. And I started feeling like the bug was trying to get me, or like I was having absurd allergy attacks, which is something that happens to me. A couple of days out of every year, I end up just debilitated by allergies. In any case, started off late last week not feeling okay at all, feeling really bad. Continued on through the weekend feeling better and better, but still bad, and got prepped and ready to go for Monday. Like, all right, we're going to watch Rojin Zed. That was what I wanted to watch on Monday. I had it ready. I had everything ready to go. And I was awakened on Monday morning by roofers, which I did not know were coming. And I will tell you, I have never experienced such visceral, like, panic as I experienced. And I'll tell you, there is no better alarm clock than a man who does not know that you are there or care banging on a roof, ripping tiles and smashing stuff on your roof less than maybe 8 feet away from you, and just smashing on your ceiling with a hammer. I've never experienced such like, boom, have a panic reaction. Enjoy that as your wake up. God, I will say one thing. It's been nice to be forced to wake up at 8 a.m. It's the best alarm clock in the world, but god damn. And that's been going on. Today's day 3. day 3 of that, and it's continuing. I had to wait until they were gone in order to record today. It's late in the afternoon, actually. They left early, otherwise it would be evening by now. But the point is that for the last 7 days or so, I think it's been a full week now, I've been useless. I haven't been able to do anything. And I suppose that's not fair, because as some people in my Discord have angrily pointed out, I could go to a library and record there, or borrow a friend's computer and record there, or something. None of that works. I don't have the technology or the materials to do that. I have a desktop computer, not a laptop. I don't own a laptop, and I don't have I have one phone. It's not feasible. But, you know, I guess you know, I could have waited yesterday and recorded late yesterday night, though I wasn't prepared to. There are ways that I could have, so it's unfair for me to be as nice as myself as it would seem I'm being by saying that I couldn't do anything, but that's how it felt. And what happened was I found myself in a place that I've been before, a place that I don't like very much. It's the place of false futility. It's the spiraling darkness of self-doubt and depression. It's the feeling of uselessness and the feeling like it wouldn't matter anyway, because it's all useless and none of it matters regardless, and there's no point. And that's what happens to me when I don't have the work, when I don't have something to do, something that I need to do, and people relying on me. And it makes it infinitely worse when during that I get messages via the Discord or elsewhere, people are going like, you know, even people who are well-meaning and are like, is T okay? Is everything going okay? And that's partly my fault, because I'm bad at communicating myself, especially when I'm feeling down or depressed. Like, how do you do that when you're in the pit of despair? How do you say to people, hey, I feel like trash? Like, not I feel like trash, I feel like a trash person. And that feeling of being a trash person is debilitating. That feeling of guilt or shame at not doing what you're supposed to be doing, even though you know you're supposed to be doing it, it's debilitating. And it's a mixed bag, because there are parts of this past week that absolutely I could not have done anything about. I can't do anything about the fucking roofers being here. And you have no idea how loud it is. It's really fucking up my days every day. But at the same time, if I were just stronger, then it wouldn't matter, right? That's not how people work. We get broken down, we get torn apart, and we do it to ourselves. And so the reason that I bring this up is because over this past week of sitting in my room, not being able to go anywhere, not being able to go to the gym because of the possibility of spreading contagions from the house to elsewhere, and the possibility, which is my personal preference, which is that if there's a chance that I'm going to get sick, I don't want to overburden my body and do a bunch of exercise and destroy my energy levels, because I find that leads to me getting sick more frequently. So I haven't been going to the gym or doing this or doing that or doing anything, and I've just been sort of sitting here in my room, and it reminds me of when I was a Hikikomori. Something like one. I know that that's a specific cultural term and people will argue it, but as a simple definition of one who does not leave their home, it fits. And it fit me for a long time. The only reason that that's changed, honestly, is because of the change in where I stay, where I live, and the fact that I live with people who are constantly pulling me out of my shell. If I lived alone, I'd be fucked. I might be dead by now, honestly. The point, insofar as there is one, it's a rambling tangent, so don't expect the sharpest of points. The point is that I remember being in this place. I was here for a long time when I was in college, when I was in university, because I was living alone for a portion of that. The first couple of years, I lived with a group of people, but then I ended up living alone, or mostly alone, and retreating, withdrawing. And part of that withdrawal was this process of anxiety and guilt around either, going to class or finishing homework or whatever. And this process that I would go through of not even procrastination, but avoidance behavior. And I know that I have that. I think it's DSM-4 would list it as avoid, or DSM-5 now, as avoidant personality disorder. It's the self-isolating behaviors, the seeing oneself as substandard, the feeling unwanted, the avoidance of academic, social, and occupational functions, and the evading of activities that are core to what I experience as just part of the way that my brain works, as are all psychological disorders or orders, however you want to consider them. And there are various types and forms of avoidant personality disorder. There are aspects characterized by excessive social anxiety and stuff that I don't experience. Really, not really. But what I realized, and the reason that I bring it up, and the point, is that I understand this place. I do. And it's relevant, because this is the kind of a place, for years longer than I've been here. And I've been in it and out of it. And I come in it and out of it constantly. I'm out of it more than I'm in it. But I'm in it relatively frequently. This feeling of despair. You know, I'm medicated against it, and it helps to an extent. And not completely. I've made lifestyle changes to help it, and they help to an extent, but not completely. It never goes away completely. It's always a part of me. It's always part of that oscillating cycle of up and down that I go through. But Rudius was in it permanently for decades. For decades. It feels to me like a year of my life has been taken off of my lifespan for the last few days, just by nature of the amount of cortisol that's been pumping through my bloodstream, the amount of stress that I've been under, putting myself under. I know it's crazy, but it's true. The anxiety that I've been existing in. Solvable anxiety, and that adds to the anxiety. The fact that you could face down the problem and fix it, and then the fact that you don't. It's part of something that somebody asked a while ago about a cycle of breaking promises to oneself. And how when you get into a cycle of breaking promises to yourself, it's impossible to get out. They asked me what I would do about that, and I responded flippantly, kind of, create a new cycle of keeping those promises. I'll stand by that. Even though there's discussion on that comment of people who are arguing against it, and they're right, I still stand by it. It's the only way that I've found to make it out. And I know it sounds like just stop being poor or stop being depressed, but it is the way that I think it is. It's action that determines behavior? No. It's behavior that determines internal state, not the other way around. I don't know, something like that. This is all, of course, getting rambly, and that was the point from the outset, but I empathize with Rudy a little bit more. No, not necessarily with some of his behaviors or some of the things that he does, but where he was and how he got there, I empathize with it. Okay. That being said, we are still going to do the whole shebang. So let's go through a couple of comments. Just a couple. Just a couple, I swear. We're going to start with Solatic Sayat. I wish I could be as eloquent as other commenters. Oh well, I don't give a shit if you talk in broken English or whatever. Just write something interesting and try to get a cool point across, and I'll deal with the rest. Something I think you could take away from the information we got this episode, in addition to a rather blasé attitude about sexual stuff, is sexual assault in this society. It is possible reinforcement about Paul that we saw last episode. It's a more positive spin, but it's very possible that Paul has always been the kind of person who makes mistakes, but quickly learns and makes amends for them. It could also explain why Zenith is so forgiving or seemingly unbothered to allow Lilia and her child Aisha to stay. He's certainly done something to earn this kind of respect and trust, even when he's done two of the worst things you could do, short of murder or more inhumane things to another person. I don't think his good looks and skilled swordsmanship alone are exactly going to earn him this. Then again, on the negative side, this really could just be world building that speaks to the societal norms that exist in, or more likely a bit of both. Yeah, I'm going to go with a bit of both there. I think it is clear that Paul has always been the kind of person who makes mistakes, but has something of a good heart, you would say. is capable of learning from them. It's one of the first things that we learned about Paul, is that he's capable of learning from his mistakes. So I think a bit of both. Yeah. Staying on the topic of Paul, Laconic Kibitz writes, I enjoyed your speculation as to why Lilia is working for Paul as a maid despite their history. However, I'd like to use Occam's razor and prevent the following idea. I did a whole speculative thing that was like, maybe she couldn't go anywhere else. I don't know. I'd like to use Occam's razor and present the following idea. Perhaps seeing how Paul has changed after a decade-ish, and hopefully after an apology, Lilia might have forgiven him. As weird as it sounds to say that a rape victim has forgiven their rapist, is it that implausible? That would tie into the show's themes of forgiveness and redemption. Yeah, no, that makes sense. I ignored the simplest option, for sure. Makes sense to me. Outside of that, this episode was amazing in how it made Paul Stocks take a nosedive. It's not every day that a character turns out to be a cheater and a rapist. Yet, I find it difficult to completely hate Paul. I think it's due to how these reveals are set up. The character development Paul underwent last episode helped by making it so his character was not simply black and white. And this episode, with the reveals, simply expanded the spectrum of grays. Is he a bad father for hitting his son without learning the full story? Is he a bad husband for cheating on his wife while she's pregnant? Is he a bad person for raping a classmate? Yes, yes, and yes. But that's not all he is. He's a man struggling to be a good father. He's a person who can reflect on his wrongs and change. His current moral compass is pointed in the right direction. In the same way that it's wrong to ignore his faults and focus on his merits, it's also wrong to ignore his merits and focus on his faults. Paul is far from perfect, but being able to see his flaws and merits on his sleeves is what makes him a good role model for Rudy specifically. Yeah, it's pretty interesting, taking this father figure and tearing him apart this early. Most kids don't kill the god the father until they're in puberty period, by which I mean your father is a god to you when you're a child. Your father and mother, they're gods to you. They can do no wrong. They know everything. They are blah, 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 blah. It's usually not until you start becoming more of an adult and more crazy that you start to really figure out that, oh shit, no, they're not. They're super imperfect people who make mistakes all the time and are capable of being wrong. I remember mine with my father. I was furious with him when it happened. I'll tell it. I got no reason not to. I'll tell the little story. When I was young, I got my first computer when I must have been 9 or something. And it didn't take me long with the advent of the internet. And I specifically remember talking to a bunch of other boys in hushed whispers at a summer camp. I think it was called Camp Summertime. At a summer camp, talking in hushed whispers about pornography. Oh, there are naked ladies on the interwebs. And I remember distinctly typing things into, God, I don't even know if it was Google at that point. It might have been Yahoo or Ask Jeeves, typing naked, beautiful ladies. No idea what I was doing. But I found porn really early and was fascinated by it. And I got caught. And it became a thing. It became an anxiety. And for my father, it became something he was constantly on the lookout for. And he started to become religious, which was really interesting because he was not a religious man throughout my childhood. And then when I was like 11 or 12, he started to become religious. It was after my parents had split. We were alone. He was living alone. And I think he was trying to reach out and find some sort of moral code, struggling with a young boy becoming a young man and being an intelligent young man and a good liar, which I was. Not things that I'm necessarily proud of, but true things. I think he was looking for some kind of enforced morality or some kind of code to teach me. So he started taking me to church on Sundays. He found a highly puritanical Southern Baptist church in the town where I live, which is heavily Mormon and Southern Baptist, is the town that I live in. It's a crazy place, honestly. And we started going. And it was pretty clear to me what was going on. But he was adamant about it. And adamant about the sexuality stuff and perversion. The horrors of perverseness and stuff like that. He became really radicalized for a little while. He slipped out of it after a couple of years, but during that time, I remember it had been years that we were going, I went into his room one time. I was looking for something. I don't remember what it was. It might have been batteries or something like that. And I opened a file cabinet drawer that he had. And there was a towel laid out over the contents of the drawer. As if it were a stack of towels. But I could see that it wasn't a stack of towels. And I pulled it back. And the entire square file cabinet drawer was full of pornographic DVDs. Mega anal sluts and, you know, porn. And this blew my fucking mind. Because at this point, I really had only watched softcore stuff. I wasn't really interested in, like, I didn't understand sex. I understood the appeal of nudity. And it was appealing to me. I didn't understand sex, let alone anal mega slut 7. You know? I was furious. Incredibly furious. My image, my illusion of my father as this figure, this icon of all things good and knowledge and all these things shattered that day. And he broke that day. Oh, I guess not that day, because it took me a number of days to actually come out and confront him about it. And at first, of course, he was furious at me for going into his room. But then he broke a little bit. I feel bad about it. But he was ashamed. He was ashamed because he knew that what he did was wrong. And more than that, it wasn't that the porn was wrong. Porn isn't wrong. Not really. Obsession with pornography and addiction to pornography can cause harm to a person, but I don't think that makes it wrong, necessarily. Corruptive? Absolutely. Self-destructive? Certainly. That doesn't make it wrong. What was wrong was enforcing the prohibition while engaging in the same behavior. That was what was wrong in that particular instance. But regardless, I think it happens to everyone. Something happens and your parents stop being deific to you. For Rudy, it's happened really early. But more than that, it would have happened early anyway, because he's an adult and he hates adults inside his brain. I don't want to get into the is he a child or isn't he an adult thing. But he hates adults. And so he would have looked for something to become disillusioned by his father for anyway. It's fascinating to me. I really think it is. Anyway, good comment. Siwar Mobius writes, one of the most important things to understand Rudy's pathological preferences, pathological in parentheses, is that his life got stuck and went through a destructive spiral, as with most psychological problems that influenced his view of the world and his likes and dislikes. Yeah, I understand that. Remember his comment in the last episode about his childhood friend. At that time, his life was great, he was popular, and he was socially successful. It was his golden age at like 8. He got stuck with the memories of that childhood friend and what it meant to him to be accepted and maybe loved by someone of the opposite sex. Later with the bullying, he associated all sorts of negative emotions with the grown-ups that bullied him, laughed at his naked body and did nothing to help him, but on the contrary, joined in the fun of taking pictures of him and putting salt on his wounds. Yeah, no, it makes sense to me. Where Rudy has come from leads to where Rudy is now, and that makes perfect sense to me. I think we'll leave off with the last comment, which is kind of a funny one. This one's from Nickmer. They have a stupid thing in this world. They think that when a woman is pregnant, she can't have sex. Lilia seduced Paul a bit after Zenith found out she's pregnant. Paul was without sex for a while, and we all know he's an ex-hentai protagonist. It was too easy to seduce him. So this is the part that I find funniest, is the idea that Paul is actually an ex-hentai protagonist really clicks for me. It really clicks for me. Like, I know that he's supposed to be the police officer or the guard of this village or whatever, but imagine that he was just a porn star. Makes perfect sense, right? He's just an attractive boy who trains to keep himself looking good and keeps the ladies around and is obsessed with sex and women. It tracks. It's perfect. Yeah. The idea the woman and pregnant can't have sex idea, I mean, obviously not true, but is the kind of superstition that a pre-medical society might have, so fair enough. Good to know. Okay, and with that long-winded introduction, let's turn our attention to the episode at hand. I see the very first frame, and the very first frame is a wheel on a wagon, and so I think we're going to be on that cart with Ghislaine and heading off to the unknown. Sounds like fun to me. Give me just a second to reset everything and make sure everything's all synced up, and then we'll get right into it. See you in a sec. Okay, all synced up and ready to go. There will be two versions of this reaction video, picture-in-picture in the description, timer on YouTube, and a beep-beep timer to count you down. Early access on the Patreon, of course. Likes, comments, subscribes, all that jazz. Beep-beep timer. Hello. Okay. Oh. Okay. Can't read. It's a sealed note. Ah. Yeah. Oh, shit. Soul. Wonder who that voice actress is. She sounded really familiar. Oh. We're tutoring a 9-year-old noble girl? Is that going to be the redhead in the covers? Oh, she wants to learn magic. Here we go. There it is. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Did not need to know that, but thank you. He really is. It's, you know. He already knows most of them. Oh, wow. Why? Oh. Oh. Rough. Rough but reasonable. Wise and awe-inspiring. Indeed. Indeed. Paul! Paul, you are double married! What? Don't send that letter to Zenith! Don't send that to Zenitsu! He just got out of the doghouse! Yeah, what's she gonna do? Maybe we'll find out in a time skip or two. Really? No regrets? Welcome to a city village town. Oh shit, there's a bunny girl. Uh-oh. Problem. Problem. Beep beep. Whoop whoop whoop. Wee woo wee woo. Wee woo. We haven't seen any beast person men yet. That guy looked like a normal man. I don't like this guy immediately. What's up? Why? Okay. That's the second familiar voice actor in the episode. Oh, you're a relative. Okay. You're a cousin once removed. For sure. Yeah. Hmm. So he hasn't told you the real deal. What's up? Okay. Is it the redhead? Fun shot. I'd watch out. Like father, like son. It's the redhead. Okay. He sure is. It's gonna be chaos in there. Oh, it's a yandere. Not really. I mean, it could be. I don't know. Hello. Nope, just a Tsune. Who's that? That's the third voice that I've been like, fuck. Yeah. What's wrong with you? I'm your teacher. Don't. Now you fucked up. Now you fucked up. Holy shit. This is going well. Oh, they're gonna be best friends. This is great. That's a monster. Yes. Yes. Who is that? Oh, man. Innocent. That's perfect. That's perfect. It's the opposite of somebody like Selfie. Just after getting beaten up once? Which would make her very angry. No, she'll just get angrier. Yeah, she might kill you. Eh? A little sneaky ploy. Please don't tell me. Please don't show me. Just cut away. Just cut away. What's this shot? What's his role? Is he a spy for her or something? I don't know. Or does he not like Rudy being here or something? I don't know. We flashing back? No, just the sound. Ooh. Oh, that was good. The holy relic is back. He left the panties? My guy. Kami-sama, please help me find panties. Pantsu, Pantsu. Holy shit, what? Oh, this is the ploy. No, this makes it way scarier. Hello, child. Why'd they tie her hands behind her back? My guy, no. Eh. Oh, he's perfect. He's perfect. He's probably such a nice guy. Just blink winking. What if it's not acting? Oh, shit. What if it's not acting? It's not acting. Bruh. Doesn't notice that the ropes are gone? Okay. Yeah, fuck! You just got curb stomped! Like, she just got literally curb stomped by a man! What the fuck? I hope you can do healing magic, asshole. Her face is shattered. Okay, he can. Good. Jesus. Did not shy away from that, which I appreciate. But holy shit. Imagine the feeling of all your teeth snapping back into place. Dekimashita ne. Fucking hell. And it's the guy who was with them is the inn? Nope. No, but it's 3. It's always 3 in kidnappings. It's usually 3. Right. So what do you do? Escape with magic. Fuck, you can just demolish stuff? You just turn stone to dust? Later. Laters. Cruel. Cruel. Yeah, he's still staying there and watching. What do you got in you, Eris? You're gonna extort a promise from her? That's some bullshit, but alright. Oh, they have Magicsu too. Alright, they're already gone. Bye. Later. X. Yeah, sorry. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. God, I could have left you. Yeah, this is what I expected. Alright. Bye. five seconds of being indignant, and then it's just gone. She's great. She's great. It would have to be. Hmm. So fucking so fucking cheeky. And what's that? Those writers were writing hard. I wonder what that was. We enter into the city. Yeah, you were stolen from Roa. Ah. Nope, he's the one who sold you out. Nope, he's the one who sold you out. Don't turn your back. Save the girl! Now she'll respect you. Okay, wait, that cut. Wait. That cut. I'll fucking kill ya. What? No. I have no idea. Hmm. Interesting. Motivation, opportunity. They're just gonna kill you, man. Yeah. Hmm. Hmm. All right. You did say that out loud. You fucking idiot. Money can't buy dare is quite a line. Fire sparkles. Oh, shit. Now y'all fucked up. That was cool magic. Ow. Slip and slide. All right, this is excellent. Excellent. Guptia. Oh, she's running on all fours. She's a beast. Oh, that's rad. What? Oh, well, they're dead. What the fuck? The fuck was that? What the fuck Sharingan bullshit was that? Ghislaine! Ghislaine! I'm gonna have to go through so much of this episode, man. Fuck. Did she just break the sound barrier or something? Or is it just that he has his hands over his ears? Hi. Ah, nice goopy sound. Well... Oh, yeah. No, yeah. You definitely contributed to the deaths of those people. Well, 7 years old. Now you've killed. Sort of. Kind of. Oh, we're carrying him back alive? Yeah, we are. By the hair! Rad. Yeah, it is. Execution. Execution. Oh, I'll stand on my own. Alright. Keeping the promise. I don't think so. I don't think so. One kid against 3 trained soldiers, trained fighters. Yeah, you did. Yeah? Good question. Unimportant. Think. She asked to speak and then didn't speak. I find that weird. There it is. Tokubetsu. Okay. I didn't know, I swear. Oh, she's great. Money can't buy Dare. He's still thinking about the fucking game. Ah! Both. Yes. Yes, good. At 7. Yes! That was great. Alright, ED me out. Let me pull something up while this is going. Oh, it's Daisuke Ono. That's why I recognized him. I was like, Okay. Cool. Sounds like fun. A day off in Roa. Lovely. This episode, I think, is really, really solid. I also think it's funny that we have completed our color spectrum harem. We have red, green, and blue. RGB. Eris, Sylvie, and Roxy. Red, green, and blue. 3 grills, all with different hair. Yay. Good, as it should be, as it was always meant to be. First things first, I spent some time during the ED looking at voice actors. The first one that I found was the guy dude, the dad dude, Philip Boreas Greyrat. He's Daisuke Ono, which is why I recognized him. He's everything from everywhere, so that makes sense. It makes sense. Now I gotta find Ghislaine. Ghislaine is Megumi Toyoguchi. Who the fuck is she? Who the fuck is that, huh? Who the fuck is that? Who the fuck is you? Well, speaking of Full Metal Alchemist, that's Winry Rockbell. She's a main cure in Sweet Precure. She's in a ton of things, but none of them jump out at me as like, oh, that's where I recognize her from. But she does sound super familiar. She plays the strong woman voice who's just wonderfully. Okay, and then last, finally, but not least, is Kakuma Ai as Eris Boreas Greyrat. And Ai Kakuma is all sorts of people, but who am I thinking of her as? God, like a dozen secondary characters in shows, but no mains that I like hard vibe with. That's unfortunate. Okay, I just wanted to find out all the voice actors and actresses because that's cool. We meet Erisu and of course complete our RGB color scheme. All right, cool. We're gonna be here for 5 years? 5 years of tutoring her? Cool. I mean, I don't know how much of it we're going to end up showing and how much we're going to time skip through, but that sounds nice to me. That's interesting. It puts Rudius in an interesting place where he can make a self for himself, which is cool. Okay. There are a bunch of really cool cuts in this episode, and there's one cut in particular that really stands out to me. I wrote down 1545. It's this one, where Rudius does this full hand up, hand down, blast of rocks from the ground comes out from him, and then we turn around and it's a wall. I got this weird sensation in the back of my brain space like I've seen this before. So, just going to show you a second of a clip. This is Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood, Episode 1. There are 2 clips that are similar to this. This one is Armstrong. I'm leaving the audio off. Pounch, bloom, right? Sort of the same idea. And there's one earlier. I actually don't know where it went. Doesn't matter. Anyway, it just made me, it tickled my brain. I was like, that seems so familiar. Maybe it's just a familiar way of orchestrating a shot where we've got, a character slamming their hand down and producing some kind of power or force. But it just felt really FMABE to me. And that's not in any way a bad thing. Oh, let me move this so you can actually see what I'm looking at. That's not in any way, shape, or form a bad thing. It was just a cool cut that reminded me of some FMAB cuts. Okay, couple of other interesting things that happened in this episode. Ghislaine can't read and neither can Eris. That's interesting, isn't it? Reading, I mean, it is the Middle Ages of some kind, in some place, in some land. Reading is not very common. That's really intriguing. He's going off to learn those things, and he's going to. And he's got to teach them as well. But it's only the extremely wealthy that can hire a tutor to come and tutor their child in these things. How do they comprehend that Rudy has figured out how to, read and write? Because, nobody taught him how to do that, I don't think. It's pretty interesting. I don't know how that's supposed to work, but fine, good. I love the muscle for brains gag, and the voice acting from Ghislaine is the first thing that made me think, who is that? Just so utterly angry is wonderful. And then Paul with the, I've never beaten her even once except in bed. My guy, learn from your mistakes, you're married. This part isn't bad. Talking about previous trysts, not bad. When he says, stay away from her, she's mine. My guy, dude, bro, no. I wonder what's up with the forbiddance to return. He says that it's because I noticed that you're becoming dependent upon Sylphiette. Is that really the reason? It could be. I don't know. It's interesting regardless. Decided that wouldn't be good for her. The wise father. Very funny. The show has been really good about making those gags flow throughout. I assume that it's the initial writing, but it's been really solid. Yeah, I see. Send that letter to Zenitsu. Wow, no, don't do that. That will get your father killed. But okay. I really like this moment where we just spend some time going through space through this field of fake wheat with all the layers going by. It's nice. It reminds me of like Spice and Wolfie type of things, going and traveling places. There's another cut where the two of them, he and Eris, are sitting on the side of the thing, and that's pretty good too. But that's a good moment. I really like the way that we do these establishing shots. It's just like shot of the city, shot of the people, we're done and we're in. And Animal Girls. I can't say anything about it. It's fine. It's everybody's fantasy, right? You got your puppy girls, your Nekomimi, and your bunny girls. You got them all, the whole squad. We start really soon, like really immediately on the foreshadowing shots around this guy. First off, the fact that we have him act from off screen at first, right? Like this is a thing that's happening and he's pouring a thing for us off screen. We don't know who it is a little unsettling. And then we choose the shot for him and it's like, we are the desk. We are the desk looking up at man. So low angle, such a low angle shot. Just like, hello, sir. Do you have any bad intentions? Because I'm looking up at you and I feel like I'm powerless in your presence. Interesting. It's really quite there. It's immediately like, oh, that's odd. All right, Daisuke Ono is Daisuke Ono is Daisuke Ono. No surprise that he plays this character effectively. As soon as I met this character, I was like, I'm immediately thinking of like bad guy from My Hero Academia. Not the bad guy, but the edgy dark guy. That guy. He's got that vibe to him with the smile, the like pursed lipped smile and the closed eyes. That's just villain. It's just villain. It just reads as villain. But he seems like a nice dude who just cares about his daughter. So who knows? Then again, he's nobility, and probably that means he's not a good person. I know that seems crazy to say, that somebody's social class might make them a bad person, but ooh, baby. Now, not necessarily by the social norms of the time, because there are different bars that people have to hit and stuff. But certainly, nobility is to be above other people, and that takes a certain degree of arrogance, right? To be a part of. And we see that in Eris for sure. She got it. That's the pampered Burato. For sure. And he teaches him how to bow, which is a cool moment. I think that the bowing moment is actually a really good one, because Rudius does this little short bow, and this guy immediately criticizes him, which is like, it confirms for me, I'm like, oh, this guy's bad news. He's just going to criticize Rudius and be like, haha, you outcast poor boy. But then he goes, no, this is what you do. This is how you do it. And then Rudius does, and he goes, yes, good job, great. And we move on from there. He was teaching him court etiquette, something that's useful and necessary. And I think it makes his character more interesting that he does this. I like it a lot. Okay, I am Philip Boreas Greyrat. We are related, sort of. And I never thought my family was so high status. I wonder if they are. I don't know. Parts of his family, maybe. He may have a big fucking family. Okay, and you'll help pay for the thing. And the one problem is that my daughter is bad news. I like this shot. It's a simple one, but it's still not easy to bring all these characters through frame like this. And I think it's, it shows that they care. And I like it when shows show that they care. You have a way with words. I hope you don't seduce my darling little girl. First off, we're related, right? I guess it's cousins at least once removed. So, like, okay. But still, we're related. Second, I suspect that he might. I suspect he might. And we'll see how it goes. I already told Paul, but my daughter is just a little willful. We've had our RGB, and our green and our blue have been pretty easy routes as far as a harem eroge visual novel would be concerned. They've been pretty easy routes, right? We've got the childhood friend, and we've got the hot for tutor, right? Those are our two routes right now. The Roxy one is off in the future. It's like, okay, we finished the route as far as it goes for now. There will be updates in the future. The Sylphie route is still going, but it's in the background. Now we need the problem route, the challenging one, the hard mode, the difficult one. But outside of the logic of video games and media, which is a logic that pervades this piece of media, it has to, it's Rudy's logic. It's also the logic of isekai as a whole, right? You are taken to a fantasy world. And in this case, it is a fantasy world. But the thing that we need is a challenge. A real, true challenge for Rudy. Someone who won't just sort of, with Roxy, she's just there because she's been hired to be there. to teach him magic. And with somebody like Sylphie, she has no friends, and he helped her not be bullied, and therefore she will be there, because duh. So part 1 of both routes is, like, pre-completed. It's, like, so easy. But this route, this one's the challenging one. This one's the difficult one. And this one is the one that's going to, I think, confirm and teach Rudy more solidly that this world is not a fucking eroge. It isn't a game, and you can't expect this character to just act like a tsundere, because she's not an archetypal character, she's a person. At least in the context of the show, right? She is an archetypal character. She's a tsundere. We see it. It's there. But in the context of the show, she's a person. And so the show is going to treat her like a person. And it's going to teach Rudy, I think, it's all conjecture, I think it's going to teach Rudy that he can't treat her like she's an NPC. The same way we've taught him that you can't treat Sylphie like an NPC. But he still thinks it's true, right? He's going to have to try all the different routes in order to confirm that the process that he knows and loves doesn't work anymore. And that's going to take a little while. But I think it's going to be really interesting, because I'll bet that Eris is going to be an extraordinarily interesting young woman. And I'll bet that he's going to treat her like he can understand her. He's going to treat her like he's met her before. She's just a tsundere. It's the same as any other. The archetype is the same. No need to treat her any differently or care about her as a person. And he's going to find out, I think, that you can't do that. He might make mistakes along the way. But we'll see. We'll see. I think it's kind of perfect. Okay, just a little bit willful. I don't expect much, but I'll try you out. A new teacher. Intense. Into violent. Hello. What? You're younger than me. And he talks back and she smacks him. Fucking insane entitlement, right? Fucking insane. And Rudy does what I think might be my favorite action of this character. It's dumb as fuck, but it is my favorite action of this character. He slaps her in the fucking face. Excuse me? Alright, fine. Thwack, you fucking bitch. You hit me in the face. Do you understand what you're doing? And I think I understand why Rudy thinks this will work, right? Oh, here is a person who has never been hurt, right? He assumes. Here is a person who's never been hurt, and so they don't know that the things that they do hurt others. I'll show her that it hurts, and I'll do it by standing up to her, and she will understand, and we will come to a mutually beneficial agreement, and we will understand each other better. Yes, indeed. That's how the AI must be programmed. This little girl isn't an AI. She's a furious, frustrated little brat, and she's gonna beat the shit out of you, and she fucking does. The sound effect for it? The slow down, speed up, Zack Snyder style, and the moment where she's just cloaked in darkness. This is all good. I might have been too fast in calling her a tsundere. Looks like she's got some yawn in there. Nice. This is wonderful. This character is excellent. She beats the absolute shit out of him. Wonderful. Now, unfortunately, we throw realism out the window because her tiny little hands would shatter as she punched a man. I mean, it's a boy's skull, but still, as she punched a boy's skull, might be able to like harm a cheekbone or cause significant bruising, but she would shatter her delicate little fucking hands like crazy, like crazy. If she's actually putting enough force into these punches to hurt him and send him flying across the room, every bone in her hand is shattered after this first punch. Every bone in her hand is shattered, and that's fine. He should be missing some teeth too, and that's okay. What the fuck? What did I... Yeah, you fucked up, my guy. You absolutely screwed up. That is a terrifying monstrosity. And it went poorly. Great. Not gonna give up. Let's come up with a plan, and we hone in... Oh, wow, I've never had it skip backward like that. We hone in, zoom in on focusing on that guy. Yeah, just to be ominous, because we gotta set that up. The show was good about this. These shots are noticeable, right? They're very noticeable. It's like, okay. And into the ploy. Tie it up and put somewhere awful and disgusting. Why isn't everything exactly according to plan? Oh, because it's not according to plan. The mistake has been made. someone with the connection and the proximity, someone with the knowledge and the know-how, and someone with the opportunity. Ooh, baby. Ooh, baby. So we get a bad guy. He would be perfect for the role of bad asshole who will chew his teeth and chew his lips or whatever he's chewing and beat the shit out of some kids. I love how Rudy is just like hands up. So it's great. It is not a game. And this is not a calm, peaceful world. Nor is nobility a shield. It is something that brings resentment. And that's something that we're wrestling with for the first time, is class difference in this universe, in this world. I guess the second time, given that Lily is a servant, we'd never really addressed it, so we just never really addressed it. Now, Eris is going to make a great member of our D&D party because she is an angry monster who keeps fighting and clearly has berserker rage. So that's going to be super useful in the future, but for now, it's a bad idea to punch your captors because that's a big man. And you are a 60-pound maximum girl, and he's going to kill you. And he can. And you can't stop him. Not even a little bit. So, bad idea, but we understand why she does it. And we don't shy away from this violence one bit. Not one bit. He goes for full head stomps. And when he finishes, we don't stay away from it either. Rudy averts his gaze and avoids getting hit. Skills that he's learned from being bullied, right? It's the same idea. And Eris is destroyed, shattered. Literally. Her teeth are broken. Her face is destroyed. She's probably going to die from these injuries. Based on the amount of blood and like what he just did to her. This isn't the kind of thing that happens in an eroge. Or a visual novel. Well, maybe some visual novels. You don't pull a trick to make the girl, associate with you, and then have it become bad and a problem and have some very bad people put you in a very bad place and try to harm you, genuinely, with malice. Oops. It's not a game. So he heals her, at least enough. And then he begins to be cruel. For a purpose, kind cruelness. Nope, I won't heal ya. I won't do anything. And he starts to realize that this isn't quite it. Simple spider and web, you feel like you're trapped sort of feel. Alright, well, my job is the same. And we evoke a promise. We extort a promise, you might say. And of course, immediately, as soon as she's well, she goes, ha ha, fuck you and your promises. Brat. Absolute brat. Why should I have to keep a promise to you? Yeah, fair enough. I guess this is goodbye. 5 seconds later, she's with him. Excellent. Excellent. Excellent relationship building. Excellent character building. I can't read, so we learned that. And he keeps talking about, if you knew this, if you knew that, you could do this on your own. So he's convincing her, which is good. This moment, where they're just sitting in the thing, and we just sit and watch them go through space. I think it's lovely. I'm curious. I feel like these riders, I feel like they, maybe they are the same guys, I don't know. But I feel like they're not. I feel like that was something else. I really like this moment, this feeling of going through the gate and the threshold. It's interesting. It's a weird echo of the first threshold that we went through, where we crossed outside of the village. Now inside is safety, and we're returning to it. It's really interesting that it feels that way. Okay, should be safe now. Nope, not safe now. Hey, you're a... Nope, bad juju. Okay, so she gets yoinked, and we're here for battle. And it's the first time. This is the first time we've had real battle. We've had little slips of fighting between Paul and Rudy. We've had little bits of magic casting. Rudy makes the weather go woo woo woo, and that's all neat. But actual combat, this is the first time, and they nail it. I think they nailed it. This is the thing. Your average shonen head will only be caught into the show here. Does that make sense? Anybody who's looking at this show for its merits as a character study or the world building or any of that is going to be like, okay, there's enough here that's of interest to continue watching this. A true shonen head might not be caught in this show until right here, and then they're stuck. They're fucked because this is good stuff. From this first shot that I thought looked like Fullmetal Alchemist and is not, from the I really like the little like orangey golden glow on the edges of these crystals that he's forming. It makes for a really unique experience that it's doing that, and I like it a lot. All right, let go of me. Return the girl. And no, and so no, there are some things that are worth more than money. More valuable than money. Money can't buy Dare. What betraying the young lady would mean, and what saving her and standing my ground would mean. You can't buy Dare. And he does a little creepy face. And a firework. This is convenient. I guess he's just trying to blind them or something. I'm not sure. But Ghislaine sees it. And she takes off. Ghislaine running is the coolest part of this whole scene to me. It's maybe not. The whipping up of 3 drills of stone, I think, is really cool as a concept. It's like, it is a lot like Fullmetal Alchemist in that you're controlling elements and manipulating existing matter to produce different effects. So I see why I feel the similarities, and I like the similarities. I don't mind it at all. I really like that cut too. Dun 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 dun. Leap Kung. Oh. Boom. Shing. He slices that one, and his sword style starts changing as we go. It's these really dynamic shots that I like the most, though, where we go from nothing to everything. Boom, boom, bam, and it's all snapped together. I want to frame by frame that really quick. Okay, so fire comes in. Ooh, that was cool. So we start lightening the frame before the fire actually comes in. And those speed lines on the right begin to come in. Speed lines on the right, and the whole thing lightens. Flame comes up, flame grows, explodes, and disappears, and he's way further back. That's actually really important. So we produce this effect as though the blast is propelling them further backward. So they're out of frame. They can't be seen right now. And then when they reappear, they're further back away. And it's not in the same like layer. It's not at the same rate of travel that they were going before. Does that make sense? So it gives this feeling like that blast actually pushed Rudy and Eris further, and it really, really works. Blast, boom, 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 and it does it again and again. That's awesome. Tricky little, I love the way that his hair moves while he's angry. Slice, slice, slicing through fire, and he throws the blade. We hold this moment. A moment where Rudy's gonna die here. But of course, we're not gonna let Rudy die here. And we get the coolest shit that I've ever seen. Full blur, all fours. Brrr, Ghislaine running. And then this shot where she starts going forward. Yeah. Where we get the full background animation. Brum, brum, brum. Awesome. That's awesome. And then one more. Neom. Shoop. And then she drops, expands, slips through time and space, breaks the sound barrier, explodes Rudy's eardrums, and generates a Sharingan rainbow and blows everything to bits. That's the coolest thing I've ever seen. It's not the coolest thing I've ever seen, but it is fucking cool. Ghislaine saves the day, and all Rudy can think about is how he wasn't capable of saving the day. Even though he did, right? That guy just saw an opportunity. It's not Rudy's fault that he chose to use this opportunity in order to kidnap Eris and Rudy. Rudy's only responsibility in this circumstance is that he saved Eris and got her out of that place where she was going to be sold to somebody, probably. Maybe a political enemy. Who knows? Maybe a slaver who just wants a female child to sell. Because female children probably go for a lot on the slave market, especially noble blood female children. like quite expensive, quite sought after. Terrifying, but probably true. This world's not a nice world. But I like this feeling that he has, where he feels inept. He feels incapable and impotent because he wasn't able to do it all himself, because he got in too far over his head. Now, that's the kind of thing that causes a character to gather power and grow. It's the sort of thing that leads to the classic hero characterization. I need more power so I can protect those who can't protect themselves, right? The recognition that I don't have that power to protect myself or those around me. I don't know. It also reads as the feeling that someone who's been told over and over and over and over and over and over that they are incompetent, that they can't do anything right, even when they do accomplish something, it's never enough or never the right thing. That's the feeling that I get from Rudy. Is this feeling that of self-doubt. Potentially undeserved self-doubt. It's the same as the feeling that, I mean, maybe I'm stretching this analogy, but I talked a while at the beginning of this video about work and stuff. I could wake up on a Wednesday, for example, like today, and end up making one of the best videos of my life, right? Have a discussion that's sparked by interesting things, bring up intriguing concepts, produce discussions that I think have real, genuine, applicable value to the real world, and share them with everyone. It feels okay. Feels pretty good to have done that. Nice. And then I can wake up the next day and feel like worthless, impotent trash. Incapable of producing anything of value. And that feeling isn't offset in the slightest by the grand success that I had the day before. Not in the slightest. And that's not right, is it? But it's the same kind of feeling that Rudy has here. He just did so much. And he blames himself for not doing more. It's interesting. Certainly interesting. Blood on his hands. At least that's how he feels. So, we got the girl. She's safe. What will happen? And he starts leaving. The hoof is excellent. And we have a new job. Teaching a firecracker of a young girl how to magic. We'll see if she's got any aptitude for it. Maybe she doesn't. Maybe she'll be a fighter. That could be really interesting, because Sylphie had that aptitude. That would actually be how I'd write it, probably. I'd be like, no, she's terrible at magic. That would be great. Okay. I think that's going to be a wrap for us. I think this episode was excellent. We got our first real fight, and I think it was nailed. We got an interesting character introduction, completed the color spectrum, moved into a new place, met a bunch of new characters, and had an unexpected encounter with the darker side of humanity in this world. Very cool. Lots of little elements being set up, and lots of things that we'll get to next time. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time for more Mushoku Tensei. Peace.